Fat Tony to me, $4.20 says, if Twitch reversed your subscriber ban, would you consider moving back to Twitch? Or are you finished with them? Why would I go back to a place that on a whim, they can decide I did something I didn't do, provide no evidence of the wrongdoing, and then punish me for it, right? This would be the equivalent. Think about this. You're in school. You're sitting there in school at your desk. You're doing a test. You're answering the questions correctly, and then all of a sudden in the middle of the test, the teacher walks up, grabs you by the back of your neck, lifts you physically out of the desk, embarrassing you in front of everyone in the class, throws you to the floor, and says, "You're suspended. Go to the principal right now." And you're like, "What? What happened?" And he says, "I saw you throwing chalk at me. You're suspended. Go to the principal right now." Like, wait a minute, what? What evidence do you have? I was sitting here, I was just doing my test. What do you say? You're done. You're suspended. Go to the principal. That's the equivalent. That's literally the equivalent of what happened to me. No evidence. They claimed there was an investigation. Nothing to show that there ever was an investigation. Nothing at all. Just, you did something wrong, you're permanently punished for it, and now your business gets fucked because of it. No, fuck you. First of all, it's not legal to do that. You have to provide evidence. You have to have corroborating evidence to show what you're saying is true. Okay? You can't just punish someone with no actual evidence of wrongdoing. It's not legal. In any state in the United States, you won't get away with that. Okay? So, just what they're doing. Just that by default. Oh, I'm going to punish you without actually showing that you did anything wrong. It's illegal. Can't do it. But they don't care. Because they know no one is going to go after them and sue them. You know? Except Dr. Disrespect, who is now suing them. Wrong, John Carson. Absolutely, positively wrong. Because this is what everyone says. He goes, but it's their site and you signed their terms of service. You have to abide by those rules. Wrong, motherfucker. Wrong. That's not legal. Just because they put something in the terms of service doesn't mean it's legal. You're out of your mind if you think that. Seriously, I've made this analogy before, all right? I made the analogy before, and I said, oh, what's this? Oh, the Cave of Abaddon. There is the Cave of Abaddon right there. When you are incorporated in the United States of America, okay? When you have any incorporated business, where you've incorporated your business, that location, whatever state it is, you now have to abide by all of the rules and regulations of that state. Twitch is incorporated into California, all right, the state of California. That means they have to abide by all employment laws of the state of California with no exception, okay? They could make a terms of service that says, as soon as you sign up for Twitch, you owe us your firstborn child. They can make a terms of service that says, we keep 100% of all money you ever made. Too bad. That doesn't mean it's legal, or it's enforceable, or they can do anything like that. If they try to do it, they can still be held accountable for breaking the law. You can't do that. That's not how it works. There's employment law in place to protect people from wrongdoing by this corporation. That's exactly why we're in this place. You have corporations who think they can just do whatever the fuck they want, and in reality, they can't. Alright, he's dead. Okay. Polixification says, is it different from some state laws that have a right to fire law? Arizona can fire you for no reason. Yes, again, it's dependent on the rules of the state where that company is incorporated. I know for a fact in the state of California there are protections in place. That's why, remember, this was a big story about a couple months ago. There was a Twitch streamer many years ago, this is a long-ass time ago, who was accused of being part of a gambling situation where apparently he was being accused that he was getting his viewers who were kids involved in gambling for skins in Counter-Strike, what is it called? Whatever that fucking Counter-Strike is, that Global Offensive or whatever, the one that has the skins that everyone fucking pays money for because they're stupid or whatever. So yeah, he was accused of essentially doing all this gambling shit. Come to find out, he wasn't. What they were accusing him of, he was completely innocent of. But they accused him of it and immediately banned him from the site without actual corroborating evidence. They just said, fuck it, we don't want the liability. So they banned him from the site. He sued them and won. It took many, many years, but he sued them and won because you can't just do that. You seriously can't just terminate someone's business contract without a legal reason to do it. Again, maybe there are states where that's possible. Not the state of California where Twitch is incorporated. So that's why do you think right now Dr. Disrespect just announced he's suing Twitch? This is why. Because he feels he was done wrong. He feels that, you know, whatever reason it was that they terminated his contract, he feels that he didn't do that. We're seriously all the way back here. This fucking sucks my ass, dude. This is bullshit. Look where we are. We're all the way back. We're seriously all the way back. Because they put a random fucking stupid mine down. Fuck this DLC. And I mean that. This DLC fucking sucks. Everything about this DLC is set up to not challenge you, to annoy you. It's just insanely fucking annoying. Every enemy is resistant to everything. They're all laid out so they all get the upper hand on you and there's nothing you can do about it. They put traps down that you can't fucking see. Fuck this DLC and fuck the people who made it. They're assholes. This is the worst fucking DLC, man. All I want to do is finish it so I can move on back to the main game that's good. And instead I gotta waste my time with this shit. It's so bad. Look, hit him a million times. With the most powerful plasma rifle in the fucking game, the dude's fine. Oh, I don't care. Oh, I'll pick my weapon right back up. What the fuck is this? Jesus fucking Christ. Now I gotta do all this over, too. I didn't go up here before. Looks like this is where they were living. Ew. A pile of meat. I love it. Anyway, the point I'm making here, I know I'm a roundabout way of answering this. The point I'm making here is just because you are a company and you think you're bigger than the people who do work for you, you're not. You have to abide by the laws of the land. It very well could be that Dr. Disrespect sues Twitch and loses. It could end up that, per the employment laws of California, they did nothing wrong. They actually found him in violation of something, and they terminated his contract appropriately. But the fact that he's saying that he's lawyered up and he is going to sue them makes me feel that at very least a lawyer who knows employment law in California feels differently. A lawyer is looked at the situation and said, no, they definitely shouldn't have done it that way. You know, there should have been a better way to do it. Maybe he did actually violate their rules and they actually rightfully terminated him. But they didn't go about it the right way. So I mean, like, you got to be careful when you're operating a business with all this shit. All these laws could come back to bite you, you know? Absolutely, it could come back to bite you. If you don't do all the right things. And I feel that Twitch, sadly, is just not very professional with the way that they handle stuff. I'm just being honest here. You know, they have moderators on that site that are literal volunteers. They're not even employees. They're volunteers. Now, how do you know that a volunteer is doing due diligence to do the right thing? You don't. You're just relying on them doing the right thing and you know, oh, I'm a fucking moderator, so I got clout or whatever. So they're operating on clout, trying to moderate a fucking site that's major business for people. It's their livelihood. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not a professional way to fucking do it. So, it really depends on the state. But I feel that with already having a precedent, we already have a legal precedent with this other guy, this other streamer, who was banned by Twitch. He felt it was completely illegal because he's like, what they accused me of I did not do. They can't have evidence of it because I didn't do it. Therefore, I'm going to sue them. It took like 6-7 years. He won in court. So Dr. Disrespect very well could be the same situation. And it's the same thing. Jesus. It's the same thing with anyone who basically get kicked out of a business like this with no evidence. Like, you know what I mean? Like, for example, let's say right now YouTube bans me from the site. And I say, for what? They have to flag the video that they consider to be the offense, the offensive thing. They have to. And then they'll show you, this is the video, here's where it happened, here's why you're banned. They have to do that. If they just shadow ban you and give you no reason, they're legally actually responsible because they didn't show you the reason how you violated their rules. They're legally required to do that. That's why they do it. That's why you get notifications about this video violated our terms and blah, 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 blah. Because they know they're legally liable for that shit. Oh my god, I'm using the wrong ammo again. It did it again. I can't believe it did it again. He's still not dead. Fuck. These guys are ridiculous. They're all tanks. Why is it only selecting Eddie and not an enemy? Stupid game. Okay. That's right. See, that's the thing. Only Ice Coffee just said the thing that bothers him the most about my partnership termination is they gave me basically a blanket excuse or reason without actually proving anything. You're right. And the thing is, again, legally, these companies are required to have said evidence. So, for example, if someone gets wrongfully terminated from a job, you have to document. I don't say wrongfully. I should say if someone gets terminated from a job, that employer, no matter who they are, has to document the reason why that employee was terminated and have valid evidence of it happening. If not only are you violating employment law, you could be violating other laws as well. So, for example, when I was terminated from Best Buy, they accused me of violating the store's discount policy. The reason they gave, hello buddy, wow, he's hyper, he's running all over the house. The reason they gave for terminating me is because they claimed that I had willingly and knowingly been violating the store's discount policy, buying multiple PlayStation 2s that I was giving away to other people. There was no way that I could have been buying PlayStation 2s more than one for myself. That was their argument. It was complete nonsense. It was complete and utter nonsense. How do you prove that something I bought was not for me? And in reality, they were. Those PS2s that I bought, all right, those PlayStation 2s that I bought were for tournament use. But they were mine. I didn't donate them to the tournaments. I never gave them to anyone. I still have them somewhere in this house. I think one of them broke. But I still have like 2 PS2s in my house right now that were the ones that I bought from Best Buy. Right? So they had zero evidence of wrongdoing, but they still terminated me. What happened? I went to court, and I basically, I was not even close to the fucking landmine. This is bullshit. But anyway, I went to court. There was a hearing with a judge. I explained the whole situation. And during this hearing, here's what happened, okay? The judge said, okay, so let me get this straight. They're accusing you of violating the store's discount policy. You bought those PS2s, saved money on them willingly, and then gave them to other people. I said, yes, but judge, I can prove to you I own them. I have them right now. Like, I have them in my possession. I could easily show you that I still have them. He said, okay, well, if it comes to that, but let's think about this realistically. He said, and he actually asked the person on the phone, because it was a phone-in hearing, He asked the person on the phone from Best Buy, he said, so how much money did Phil actually save on this transaction by using his store discount? Okay? And they had to look it up because they didn't know off the top of their head. And they looked it up on their the receipt, the system. They said, oh, he saved 42 cents on each transaction. What? The judge was literally like, what? Can you repeat that? Like, yeah, he saved 42 cents on each transaction. Like, wait, so you're telling me that Phil bought 3 PS2s and saved 42 cents on each PS2 using his store discount? Yes. Okay? Now, you may be shocked at that and say, well, why is that? That's because when stores sell game consoles, they sell them at cost. Any store that sells a game console, they don't make profit on the console. They actually make profit. They actually make profit on the accessories, the extended warranty, the games. They make little to no profit on the actual sale of a game console. Okay? So the judge is like, so you're telling me your employee, Phil, willingly violated and willingly, knowingly said this was the HR employee he's talking to from Best Buy. He's like, you really think Phil did this? Like, he said, I have a plan where I want to save like $1.40, and so I'm going to abuse the store discount policy. And he even asked me, he says, do you have any other evidence? Do you have any other examples of where Phil could have violated the store discount policy? No, we don't. And the judge immediately said, okay, well, I rule in favor of Phil. He's going to get full unemployment. And Phil, if you want to further pursue this with a lawyer to sue them for wrongful termination, you can do that, based on this ruling. Okay? So that's what happened. And this was many, 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 many years ago. Okay? This was like the mid-2000s when this happened. All right? So this is a situation where that's wrongful termination of an employee. Okay? Now, in regards to Twitch, no one is an employee of Twitch when they have a partner agreement. No one is considered a full-on employee of Twitch. But, you have a legal contract between Twitch and you. And if Twitch violated that contract in any way, shape, or form, or if in the state of California where Twitch is incorporated, if it's found that that contract is not legal to begin with because of the way that it's written or the way that it's enforced, then you have a case. In regards to this stream, again, I don't know who this was, this streamer who was literally banned from Twitch, kicked out of his partnership, everything just ended. They didn't have any evidence that he had done it. They had suspected him of doing it, but they didn't have any concrete evidence. They didn't want the liability of being implicated, so they just immediately kicked him out without having the evidence. And that's illegal. You can't do that. You need to actually have the evidence. Like I said, when you terminate a legal contract, when you terminate an employee, you need to have evidence. If you don't have the evidence, you can't just do it for no reason. It's just not allowed in the state of California. Maybe in other states it is, but in the state of California, it absolutely is not. So that's where they got into trouble with this other guy. And that's why I feel that Dr. Disrespect might have a case. If they can't absolutely prove that what they're saying he did, that he did it, they're shit out of luck. Now, in the case of Dr. Disrespect, we don't know what it is that they accused him of, right? We have no idea, actually, what they're saying that he did. So that's interesting, right? Very interesting that he's suing them and he feels like he has a great case. You know, the way he talked about it on his stream, he was like dead set believing, oh, look, we did it. Another circuit board. So now Eddie's going to have, we each have +2 damage thresholds. That means we deal more damage, I believe, right? I think that's what that means. I think it means that we each are going to deal more damage, both me and Eddie. That's where we came from right there, right? Yes. Cool. So, anyway, with Dr. Disrespect, if he feels that his contract, right, was not enforced properly, he'll have a case. And obviously, he's got a lawyer on his side who feels that way because he's suing them. Don't know if it's gonna work or not. You never know with these things. Especially, you never know if it's a judge that really doesn't even understand fucking streaming and shit and how stuff is enforced. You never know. But he's going to sue him. So, what I think Best Buy had it out for me because they wanted to get rid of everyone who was under the business team. It wasn't just me. They wanted to either transfer out everyone from the business team to a lower paying job or just get rid of them if they refused. In my case, I was the most outspoken of everyone on that business team. I had outright told the store manager the reason the business team was failing was because of him, because he wasn't supporting us. I said, we have no manager at all to lead us. You don't treat us like you're like people under you. You basically just leave us to do whatever we want to do, but you won't give us any resources to succeed. I worked for that company for a year. They expected me to sell electronics to small business owners, but they wouldn't let me go to a small business mixer or event. They wouldn't let us list that we even existed. They wouldn't even create business cards for us. So how the fuck were we supposed to actually do our jobs? And I told the store manager that outright. I said, dude, this is on you. You're the store manager. We're under you, and you're not doing anything to allow us to succeed. And then he's like, well, you should just be selling, computers in the store. I'm like, I can't make a small business owner walk into Best Buy. You're limiting me to work here. You're telling me I have to work inside this building, but I can't force a small business owner to walk in the door. All I can do is ask people who come in, do you own a business? And if they say no, I'm done. I don't even have anything to do. I have no work to do. Anyway, they didn't like me because of that. I was very outspoken. They hated my guts. So that's why they wanted to get rid of me. They were paying me more than everyone else in the store besides management, but they didn't like the fact that I was telling them it was their fault that the whole thing was failing. So let's do a few shout outs here. Shout out to an anonymous tipper. To me, $1.50. Said, can I get in contact with Dr. Disrespect and we can help each other out? Dr. Disrespect is rich. Dr. Disrespect can hire insanely powerful, insanely expensive lawyers, and he will do what he does. He doesn't need anything from me. There's no way I could possibly help that guy, okay? Only Iced Coffee to me, $5 said if an employee is accused of stealing from the store, then they're fired, terminated for it, but when they do an investigation, they don't see anything on security cameras of stealing, that would be a wrongful employment termination. That's correct. In the case of Twitch, that's not the case because you're not an employee, but you still have a legal contract. So unless it's proven that you have done something wrong per the terms of that contract, they can't terminate the contract in the state of California. Anshang Forever, tip me $1.50. He says the Fallout streams are awesome. Thank you very much, Anshang. Thank you all for that support. So now that's going to jump us up to $82 in tips. We are very close to hitting the vest goal for today's stream. Thank you guys. Okay. Wrong. Scout Carl, you are completely wrong. You don't know what at-will employment means at all. You don't know what that means. At-will employment, all right, means that you, as an employee, can quit for any reason, and you're not required to have any kind of an obligation to the company, okay? Now, the company can also terminate you for a reason, but the reason has to be justified. It can't just be, I don't like you, you're fired. It has to be, you weren't doing this properly, you weren't doing that properly. And then they have to have evidence of what they're saying. They can't just terminate you and kick you out for no reason, or else, for example, they could literally say, you're fired because you're black. And that would be covered. That's not covered. That's ridiculous. What you're saying is absolutely ridiculous. You don't know what you're talking about. That's not how it works. They have to have a justification, a legal justification for firing an employee. That's not what at-will employment means. Okay. All right. Let's continue. Repair of 50. Sounds like they blew out your primary stabilizing jets. I can't believe you kept going after that. Okay. No, you see, right. They could terminate you for any reason, but they have to prove it. You have to be, it has to be proven that that's, I don't know why I'm arguing with people. They don't understand employment law, so I don't know why I'm arguing with people on a Fallout stream about this. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. No company, if you're in a state that has any kind of employee protections, can just fire you for no reason. They can't just say, you're fired. Well, why? I don't have to give you a reason. You're fired. No. They have to justify the reason and have evidence. It could be bullshit, because here's the thing. They could easily fabricate the evidence. They could. They could easily be like, oh, here's 5 times when a manager said that you were a bad employee, even though that's never even presented to you. They could lie about it. But then you could sue them, and then you go into the legal proceedings of proving whether or not what they're saying is true. So, Anyway, all the stuff going on Twitch is just shitty. Like, seriously, Twitch is just getting worse and worse, constantly worse. Everything that's going on over there is negative. I can't think, can you even mention a single positive thing that's happened at Twitch in like the last 6 to 8 months? And that's bad. You know what I mean? Like, that's really bad. Oh, we're going to add a bunch of tags so that people who are in marginalized groups can get noticed on Twitch. Oops, we accidentally made it easy for people to find marginalized streamers and harass them. So now hate groups are coming onto their streams and spamming hate stuff. And then when they try to handle it, if they don't handle it fast enough, we ban them from the site. It's like, geez, man. There you go. For any lawful reason, Parker D just said it. Parker D literally just said, listen to this. California is an at-will state, meaning that an employer or employee can be terminated or quit, by the way. He didn't put that part in. At any time, with or without cause, at any time, for any lawful reason. You just said it. Any lawful reason. 100% you hit it on the head. There has to be lawful justification. There has to be, or else any employer can just do whatever they want. You could be a disgusting, racist, sexist piece of shit and get away with terminating employees left and right just because you know, you're biased, you're prejudiced, and that's not allowed. But anyway, again, all that's a moot point, because again, we were talking about California at-will employment law, which has nothing to do with Twitch. I don't know why people are bringing that up. I never brought it up. It's about a contract. It's about what's in the contract and how legally enforceable that contract is. So, like I said, obviously Dr. Disrespect feels that Twitch did not live up to their part of the bargain of the contract, that they wrongfully terminated his contract without a good reason, without a legally justifiable reason. Okay. Snow Carl, I'm just going to ban you. How about that? Since you just tipped me and you're still arguing about California employment law that has nothing to do with what we were talking about, how about I just ban you now and we get it over with? Seriously, I'm just tired of it. I'm tired of you derailing the stream with nonsense, dude. What the fuck are you talking about? He seriously just sent a tip and he's arguing with me about California employment law. Like, you just don't know when to leave well enough alone, man. Alright, this room is full of them. Let's try to use grenades on these assholes.